What up, Fight World? This Amin Boxing Club, man. Let's get to it. So Amir just came out and said that Mayweather was being a P-U crooked letter Y. You know, and he said Mayweather was being that around the time he beat Collazo, and he said he wanted to. He was calling out Mayweather, man. He wanted to fight Mayweather, right? And don't get me wrong, man. Amir Khan, that's like one of his best performances to me, man. He straight. He beat up Collazo bad, bro. He whooped him, man. Collazo didn't stand a chance. He just beat him up the whole fight, you know. And if you was to compare like how Keith Thurman had to face adversity against him, like Amir Khan beat Collazo probably better than anybody beat him, you know. He did his thing, bro. He did his thing. But Maidana had beat Broner, who was like, his name was like, he was hanging around Mayweather like they was best friends, right? So when Maidana beat Broner, he beat Broner bad, man. Broke his jaw, like, you know, he beat him up bad, bro. And that was Broner was hot at the time, man. So that was like a big fight. You know what I'm saying? That was a real big fight. And that just took Maidana to another level, man. Maidana looked like he started training with Robert Garcia. You know, he looked like a scary fighter, man. He was rough, rugged, like throwing wild, awkward punches, hit hard. You know, he was a dangerous fighter at the time. Don't get me wrong, Amir Khan beat him, and Amir Khan survived in that fight because he almost got knocked out, but Amir Khan won that fight. But the Maidana that fought, the Maidana that was trained under Robert Garcia is a different Maidana, man. You know, if Amir Khan would have fought Maidana around that time, I would have picked Maidana to win, you know, because Maidana, he looked his best, man. He had established a jab. He started using a jab. He just became a better fighter. Robert Garcia took him up, man. He brought him up and made him a better fighter, a much better fighter, man. Like, so he was in his prime, man, and he was, you know, when he fought Maidana, when he fought Broner and when he fought Mayweather. So Mayweather took the Maidana fight because he beat Broner, man. That was a big fight. And Mayweather whooped Maidana, but it was a tough fight, and it was a lot of action. Some people want to say that Maidana won. I mean, if people just go back and rewatch that fight, they'll see Maidana was losing that. He lost that fight clearly. You know, he got beat up in that fight. He took a lot of punishment. He just was rugged. He made it look like, for people that couldn't really tell, man, like they probably thought Maidana was landing a lot of punches that he wasn't landing. And Maidana was getting caught. Mayweather was slipping his punches and catching him throughout the whole entire fight, you know. So it looked good, it looked entertaining. So some people thought Mayweather lost, so they thought he was in the toughest fight ever of his career. So instead of fighting Amir Khan, Mayweather rematched him, man, because Mayweather, that's what he do. If you fight him in a close fight and it's like probably some type of controversy like against Castillo, he gonna rematch you, man. So he rematched Maidana, and that was a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Amir Khan and Keith Thurman, man, they both like kind of like obsessed with Mayweather, man. They act like they scorn over Mayweather, like he did them dirty, like, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta go on with your career, man. Don't let your whole, like, why you bringing up Mayweather in every discussion? Like, Mayweather, like, I haven't heard Mayweather speak on Keith Thurman and Amir Khan name in like years, man. Like literally, like it's been years. And Mayweather, he talk a lot. Like Mayweather get on the cameras and he love to talk, but he don't speak to them at all, man. And they just can't keep his name out their mouth, man. Amir Khan, man, like he's saying that he jumped up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo because Mayweather was being a P-U crooked letter Y. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's just not smart at all. That was never a smart fight, bro. You never had the best chin from the start of your career. You was chinny your whole career, and you gonna move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. You know, somebody that will land on you, and Canelo got power. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't smart, and it wasn't smart because he could have fought Kell Brook, who Kell Brook been trying to fight him. I know that they about to fight now, but he could have fought Kell Brook back then. And he could have been pushing for the Thurman fight, you know what I'm saying? You could have been pushing for your rematch with Garcia. You beat Collazo, man. You know what I'm saying? Collazo was a gatekeeper like type of guy. Like he wasn't nobody, like he wasn't on that level like that. He was good, he was solid, but you know, like a gatekeeper, like a Robert Guerrero, but not as good as Robert Guerrero. Like, you know, he could have rematched Maidana, but you know, he didn't have to. But you know, he could have just proved to everybody that he could beat him again, and he could have fought him again. I don't think he would have won that fight though. It's a bunch. He could have fought Sean Porter, man. It's a bunch of fighters that was at the welterweight division that he could have fought, and he said that his reason is Mayweather was being, you know, whatever, a PU, crooked letter Y. Mayweather being like that, so he jumped up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. That don't make sense, man. That don't make sense, man. These dudes be sounding crazy when they say stuff like that, but you know, and if you ask me, man, he was probably looking for a payday, if anything, bro. He was trying to get the most money that he can get out the deal. I mean, you'll get more money fighting Canelo than you'll get fighting maybe a Keith Thurman or something. But to be honest, man, in the UK back then and even now, that Brook and Khan fight was always gonna be a lot of money. I believe it's a lot of money right now. I gotta check their purses and stuff. I don't know, but I know they're getting paid out there. Man, you know, man, it's like, I felt like at the time, Amir Khan, he wasn't gonna fight Brook because he didn't want to lose to Brook, man, and like, right now it's his best chance at beating Brook, in my opinion, you know. So now he more willing to fight Brook. But if Brook would have beaten Amir Khan back then, I think like he rather got knocked out by Canelo any day than get knocked out or get beat by Kell Brook, like, you know what I'm saying? So now that he got his best chance, and I know he training hard for this fight, he might pull out the victory. I don't know. It's 50-50. I'm leaning towards Brook, but you know, I won't be surprised if Amir Khan pull that off, man. But man, Amir Khan, it's so many options. He could have been trying to fight Danny Garcia, man. Danny Garcia, you was beating him and he caught you with a left hook, knocked you down, and then he was hurt after that. You was done and he finished you, you know. So you could have, you know, if it wasn't for that left hook, if Danny Garcia wouldn't have landed that left hook on him, man, like most people would have thought Amir Khan, like everybody's picking Amir Khan to win that fight. You know, Danny shocked the world. So he was the underdog and he shocked the world. So he could have been trying to get in his rematch with Danny Garcia, man. It's like, man, leave Mayweather out of it, bro. Like a lot of times, like they bring him up, man. It's just like, that's what you base your career. Like what about like, you never fought certain fighters, you know what I'm saying? Amir Khan, you was at welterweight. We seen you fight. You did fight people, but you didn't, you know, you didn't even get in the mix and fight the Thurmans, I mean, you fought Garcia at 140, but you ain't fight the Sean Porters. At the time, you ain't fight the Kell Brook. You about to fight them now. You ain't fight those, who else am I missing, man? You know, you're not even in the talks of never fighting Spence, you know what I'm saying? He ended up fighting Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? Like later in his career, like right now, it's like he more willing to take these fights for whatever reason, man. You know, he at the end of the road, you know, and there's money in those fights too. Probably not the most, but you know, man, they need to leave Mayweather alone. Leave Mayweather's name out of it, man. Keith Thurman, he speak of Mayweather's name all the time for no reason. It don't have to have nothing to do with Mayweather, but he'll pull Mayweather's name out. You know, man, at the end of the day, man, they should just focus on their career, you know, because people going to criticize them for what they did in their career. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that Mayweather should have fought you or he ducked you or whatever, and then we could say that you ducked certain fighters, you know what I'm saying, that you wasn't trying to fight certain fighters, you know what I'm saying? So if you gonna follow Mayweather for it, don't fall in line and do the same thing, if that's how you feel, you know. But, you know, man, I'm excited to see this fight with Amir Khan and Kell Brook, though, man, because I always wanted to see this fight, you know, so we gonna see what he do, man. I don't know, man, I don't know. I'm gonna lean towards Brook, man, but I don't know, because Brook, man, he got hit by a power jab type of punch. It was like a jab mixed with a... Terrence Crawford, man, when he throw that jab like that, it do have power in it, but still, though, it shouldn't have did all of that to Brook, man. So that looked bad, man. Both of your eye sockets been broke before. You know, you'd have been knocked out, what, 2 times? 3 times. You've been knocked out 3 times, man. And you know, your last fight you got knocked out. Amir Khan, at least he beat. I think he fought Billy Dib and he just won. So I think he won by knockout. So Amir Khan, he had him a fight. You know what I'm saying? Where he won. You know what I'm saying? And because before that, I believe he lost to Terrence Crawford. So Amir Khan, he got everything on his side right now, like to win. You know, Brook is not the same no more. He not the same no more neither, but he got a little more momentum with him. Like he coming off of a win, you know, and you know, this is when he called for this fight. Like he wanted this fight, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm sure he was training, he was prepared. He got Terrence Crawford helping him, so I guess he think that that's gonna help him in the fight, you know, but I'm gonna say like the first person to get hit in the chin might be over, you know. And Amir Khan is fast still. He still got fast hands, so you know he could get to Brook faster. But we're gonna have to see, man. But yeah, man, that's how Amir Khan feel about Mayweather. You know, after this fight, I won't be surprised if he call out Mayweather because they just never stop, bro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but. That's all I got, Fight World, man. This Amin Boxing Club. Everybody like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.